Okay, good.
May I begin?
Yes.
Our company, Airbnb, is currently facing incredible divisive tendencies as a point of contact in the world today. How we want to address this issue is initially through allowing ourselves to address the issue of both diversity, dignity, and respect within our company. Enabling our hosts to discriminate on the basis of race is both morally and ethically irresponsible. It demeans and denigrates those whom it gets its target. Enabling our hosts to discriminate on the basis of traits that are both, on the basis of traits that are, both irresponsible as well as irrational. It demeans those whom it gets its targeted. We are a company that wants to demonstrate that we want to follow our mission of being a company that allows everybody to feel as though they can belong anywhere. We want to be a company that makes our stakeholders all feel as though they can come together through relationships, community, and cultures, and we want to use our technology for the purpose of bringing people together. Thank you.
Hello.
Good time.
And hopefully you're from Thunderbird, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, good. I am ready to begin when you are.
Sure. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. Today I want to talk about an issue that brought up to my attention recently, which will have huge social and ethical implications within our company. The issue of doping in CrossFit. Now, what's happening today? CrossFit has grown exponentially in the last 10 years due to the access to technology and information, which has had a huge influence in the youth. Why do we want to focus on the youth? There's three main points we want to talk about. Ethics in sports. All these professional athletes, at some point in their lives, were young individuals who learn a system of values based on honor, integrity, and respect. Why are these values so important for us? Because these values are transfused to the individuals through these role models, which is our professional athletes, and these young individuals that look up to these people, and which will be the future leaders of our future generations. Now, let's ask ourselves these questions. What do we want to teach our kids of the future? Do we want to teach them gamesmanship, in which the individual and the means justify the end? Or do we want to teach them gamesmanship or sportsmanship, in which the individual understands that the means builds a moral character that helps them develop an individual as a professional in the long term? Now, as a company, do we have the moral capacity to act and to hold ourselves accountable for our actions? Or are we going to wait for these consequences to haunt us in the future? Now, I want to finish with one question for you guys. Are we going to wait to act one day, or are we going to act today, day one? Thank you.
More than 10 million people are at risk for...
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Alvaro with Texas State?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Hang in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
So are you the only board member, or is it the entire room? I need to know where I need to focus my attention.
It is the entire room.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so thanks for your patience. Okay.
Yes, sir. Over 10 million people are at risk for death and disease because they live in areas vulnerable to pollution. The clothing industry is responsible for 20% of the health risks that these populations are experiencing. We are in a unique position to lead the reform of the clothing industry because we are partnered with the largest manufacturer of Tencel, the sustainable and profitable future product of the future. We experienced moral outrage in 2012 when Greenpeace exposed us for using hazardous chemicals. We then pledged to employ a completely circular Tencel-based production model by the year 2020, but we're nowhere near on course to fulfill this promise. If we do not fulfill this promise, we will be ignoring the serious harms that we're contributing to, and we may suffer a financial loss, such as H&M has recently, when its stock plummeted 38% because it failed to fulfill its promise of inclusivity. Now, we have already started to incorporate Tencel in our product lines and recognize its profitability and its ethical and sustainable implications. There is no reason for us not to continue, not to use exclusively Tencel, because we are the only company in a position to do this, because there are people's lives that depend on it, and because the flourishing of future generations depends on it. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
When James Damore released his controversial memo, women made up only 20% of our technology workforce here at Google. According to Damore, biological differences between men and women were the cause of this disparity. He believed women were more neurotic than men and less capable of performing in tech. This is a problem. Even though we have a policy of open discourse, we cannot allow such a negative, divisive mindset to fester and pollute our inclusive culture. We need to be able to attract diverse talent and attain or retain that diverse talent. And in order to do that, that is key to our success. We need to address this ethical issue with serious consideration, and we can look at different perspectives, including the interests, duties, rights, and character of our company and of our stakeholders. We have the right to shape our culture to promote the safety and dignity of our employees, and a duty to uphold our code of conduct. We also have to stay true to our values of fairness and justice. James Damore's beliefs went against our code and our mission. Went against our code and our mission. Went against our code and our mission. Excuse me. Went against our code and our mission. While we want to promote open discourse, his belief, and he had a right to express his concerns, we need to be more concerned with respecting our employees and society at large. For these reasons, we cannot retain Damore at Google. The actions we take today set precedent for who we are and move us closer to the Google that we strive to be, a Google for everyone.
Mark, okay. You've been here a few days, I hope.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, still a bit jet lagged, but that's okay.
Okay. How are you in New York?
40% of the world's bees currently face extinction. If this trend continues, by the year 2040, 99% of farm-managed hives will have collapsed. At Blue Diamond Growers, we know that our almonds are reliant on bee pollination in order to grow. However, Blue Diamond is also contributing to the mass extinction of the honeybee through the use of harmful pesticides. And so the question that I put to my Blue Diamond colleagues is this: how much more can we afford to lose? Without bees, nuts are the second most endangered crop in the world. Can we afford the loss of livelihood for our farmers and our beekeepers in the absence of this pollinator? Can we afford to lose the 75% of the world's food crops, which need bees in order to survive? Can we bear the ethical costs of contributing to a world food crisis with global epidemics of malnutrition and hunger as a result? 3 million people die every year of pesticide poisoning from the same pesticides that we use to grow our bees. Can we afford to continue the injustice of exposing our employees and our consumers to these toxic pesticides, both through food and atmosphere exposure? For the sake of our stakeholders, of our corporation, and the planet, we at Blue Diamond must change our pesticide practices and ensure the future of the honeybee, because we cannot afford to do anything less. Thank you.